Hello friends, welcome back to Code with Roy. In our last video, we learned about service registry and we just saw some examples, but we'll be doing hands-on today. So today we'll be creating three microservices or three Spring Boot services. One will be our Eureka server and two will be client, and we'll be seeing how to invoke one client from another client using Eureka. So we are in Spring IO. So in Spring IO, I'm choosing a Java project with Maven with Maven, and then I'm choosing Spring Boot version 3.5.5. So this is a group ID com example, and this is payment service. So packaging will be jar, and I'm using Java 17. So I don't need this Lombok and dev tool at this point. I just need a Spring Web dependency. So I'll generate one project, and then I need another project, order service. This is order service. So I'm generating the second project, order service. So now I have order service and payment service, and then I will be doing Eureka server. Eureka. So this is Eureka server. So now I have three projects created in Spring Boot. Let's import them. So here I have imported those three projects: Eureka server, order service, and payment service. So let's understand each of these services. So this is the Eureka server, where let's see the POM. Let's close all other stuffs now. So this is the POM for Eureka server. The only thing which we need here is this is a web project, so this is the dependency for that, and this is the dependency we need to make it as a Eureka server. So Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka server, this is the dependency which we need to make it or behave it as a Eureka server. And then we'll be calling from this server. So this is OpenFain. Actually I don't need these things here. Yeah, this is it. So Eureka server, we don't need this fain thing here. So these are the two dependencies we need. One is Spring Boot Starter Web, and then Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka server. Next, what we need in application.properties, this is a name. This is the port, default port where Eureka runs. So I have used this port 8761. And then these are the two entries which we learned in our previous video. These are the two things we have to mention: Eureka client register with Eureka false, Eureka client fetch registry false. Why we need to do this? So that this particular application, because this is itself is Eureka server, if we don't do it, it will try to register itself with Eureka server. But since this is a Eureka server, we don't want it to register itself with Eureka server, right? So that's why we have to mark it as false, and fetch registry also. We don't want to fetch this from registry because this itself is a Eureka server. So we have to forcefully tell them that don't do this. Don't register with Eureka and don't fetch registry. So this is basically the Eureka configuration. That's it. So this is a simple Spring Boot project, and what we have here. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. So in that application, right, Eureka server application, we need this annotation, enable Eureka server, to make it Eureka server. So this annotation will convert this Spring Boot service as a Eureka server. So this is what we need: enable Eureka server dependency. So this is it. Basically, these three things we need to convert any Spring Boot service to a Eureka server. Okay. Now next go to the second service. So second service is our order service. So this is the order service application. What we have to do? We need to add this dependency enable discovery client. So this we want to register with Eureka. This service should register itself with Eureka. Let's first go to the POM and then we'll come back here. So in POM, what we need here is we need this dependency. This is a common dependency, web dependency. For every service we need it. And this is the second dependency we need to mark it as a Eureka client. So this microservice or this service is a Eureka client. So we have to add this dependency Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka client. And then why this dependency? This dependency is because uh, we want to use Fen client to make a call to a different client. So that's why we have add this open Fen dependency. We'll show how to use it. So this is the open Fen dependency. Okay, and then we'll be coming back to this order service application. So now to change it as a Eureka client, we have to add this annotation enable discovery client and enable Fen client. So this will be a Fen client. That's why we added this dependency, and this is for Eureka client. So this will be discoverable using this enable discovery client. This will be discoverable by Eureka. I think this is it for here, and let's see the Fen implementation as well. So to call the Fen, I have created a payment client here. So this payment client is basically, if you see right, Fen client. So you are using a Fen client name payment service, but the important thing is how it will identify the payment service. That will be through Eureka. So when it will come here, it will try to discover this service with this name, and Eureka will provide the instance for this service, which will be seeing soon. So for now, just understand that this is a Fen client implementation which we have. So here the mapping is payment pay order ID, and this call will go to Eureka and fetch the registry and get the instance of this payment service. And this is a controller, order controller. So if we are calling this one, this will call the payment client and it will make the call, which will be seeing how it is happening. But let's say the payment service as well. So the payment service, it's same as order service, nothing different. We need this dependency here as well, just to register it with Eureka. So this will be a Eureka client. So we need the same dependency in POM, and in application, payment service application, we need this dependency enable discovery client. So it will be discoverable by Eureka. Okay, and then we have a controller, payment controller, which is nothing but it's just returning payment successful for order ID, this one. Now let's run this each of these things and see how it works. So first we have to run the Eureka server. So I'll be running Eureka server here. So server is coming up. Let's see what it is showing. So still coming up. I think it is up now. Tomcat started port 8761. So what we'll be doing, let's type http:// localhost what was the port? 8761. 8761. 8761. This is where Eureka is running. So you see Eureka is up and running. And if you see instances, no instances available. This is very important here. So now no instances available because nothing else is running apart from Eureka server. So Eureka server is running and that's what we are seeing here. Now let's run one instance, means one other service, right? So let's run the order service. So I'm running the order service now. And at the same time, let me also run the payment service. So if you see, order service started on 8081 port and now payment service is coming. Let's see if it is showing the order service now. Refresh this page, you see order service is showing up. So this is how it is showing order service, its name. So we'll be discover with this name order dash service and it's running on 8081 port. And then let's see if payment service is also up and running. This is also order service. Payment service is up and running, I think. So let's see payment service. Let's refresh again. Yeah, payment service is also up and running. This is one scenario where now both the services are already registered with Eureka. Now, if I add one more instance, right? Let's create one more instance of order service. Let's run it again. Start it again. Another service, right? So I am trying to create another instance of the order service. Oh, I cannot do it because I haven't added the dynamical port. So it is basically, since I have used the port here, right? 8181, I cannot, it will try to run on 8181 port. That's why this issue is happening. So instead of that, I had to run with a dynamic port. But for now, I think this is good enough. We still have two services up and running. Now we'll be invoking it uh, through, means we'll be invoking payment service from order service and we'll be using Eureka as a service registry and we'll identify this instance payment service. So let's see how it can be done. So let's come to this one, order service. First see the controller, payment controller. So once the call will come to payment controller, it will print payment successful for order, whatever order ID will be passing from order service. And then in order controller, will be basically we'll be first invoking this one. And when we'll be invoking this one, it will come to this payment client and make payment. When it will be coming to this payment client, it will use this payment service as fin client that will come to Eureka server. It will discover the payment service instance and it will invoke payment service using this endpoint. So let's try to do that. So first I have to come to order controller and I have to do this one. So it is running, order service is running on which port? 8081, I think 8081. So I can run it here. Localhost. So this is right. So say order service 2. I haven't even hit it. So let's verify order place order ID. So order place order ID. So if I hit it, you see order placed successfully, payment successful for order ID 002. So this is coming from this payment controller. This payment controller. Payment successful for order ID, order ID. So what happened here? Let's see here. So this order service called this name payment service, because this is what is mentioned here. I just again want to show you this client, this one, payment service. And then this Eureka has returned this instance, this host port thing, and there it has called the payment service. Means I can separately also call this one, this instance. If I call it, let's see what will happen. Let's try this one. I'm calling directly the payment service now. So I have to go to the payment controller and payment pay order ID. Payment pay order ID. So this will be payment and then order ID say 003. If I hit this one, you see I see payment successful for order ID 003. So this time I got this host port where this payment service is running, and I invoke that service, means that controller. So when I hit the order service, that same thing happened dynamically using Eureka. From Eureka, order service called this payment service. Eureka gave this host port name dynamically. No hard coding is needed, and in that dynamic host port, we called that FEN client call. We made this call, this same call, and that's how we got this response here. Because we here, if you see, we only call order service, but internally it used that discovery service, and it discovered that payment service and called it. I hope you understood the concept of service registry and how Eureka works. So if you like this video, please subscribe and like the video, subscribe my channel and like this video, and please share this video with your friends. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.